Hey guys, Dilby here, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about transitions. This is a really important part of music production and something that can really take your track from sounding kind of beginner or amateur to a pro level. I've been noticing in my feedback sessions and also my one-on-one sessions with people that it's something that quite a few people seem to struggle with or overlook. So today I'm going to show you a bunch of techniques that are pretty easy to implement but really powerful when done well. Just quickly, if you like the track that's playing, it's a new one of mine. There's a link in the description to Beatport and Spotify if you want to go and check that out further. And as always, you can grab the project files for this video from the link in the description, which goes to Patreon. Patreon is one of the best ways that you can support the channel and make sure I keep bringing you these videos on the regular. But let's get in and fix these transitions. Alright guys, so here we are inside Ableton, and this is a project I've put together to demonstrate how we can improve our transitions. As I said in the intro, this is something I've been noticing a lot recently in track feedbacks and one-on-one sessions that, I don't know, some people are kind of not quite getting their transitions to where they could be. I'm going to show you a few pretty simple but really effective ways that you can go through and kind of massage your transitions and make them a bit more effective and a bit more kind of punchy and just kind of create a bit more drama in some of these sections, but also smooth things out in other sections. Let's just have a listen to the beat we're working with. Nice groovy loop kind of thing. This will be available to download from Patreon. Link in the description to that if you want to go through and check out kind of all these things and how I've made them. Most of the sounds for this have come from Underground Shades of House Volume 2. Link up here to go and check that out from houseofloop.com. It's my new sample pack and it is top notch. Let's have a look at some of these transitions. So the first thing that I want to do, one of the easiest things to do, is to create a little bit more kind of dynamics in some of these transitions, specifically this one going into the break here. So the first thing I can easily do is take out the kick here. So we also want to take out some other things because we've got basically the kick being accentuated with this top loop. All right, there's a sound on the downbeat there, so I'm going to take that out. And we've got this top kick here. That sounds maybe a little bit too empty, so let's try it with the top loop in. A lot of this is trial and error. That sounds like a bit cooler to me. Now we're going to move on to the second thing, which is going to help to smooth out this transition, and that is adding in some filtering. This is going to help us to create some more dynamics and also to create tension and release in this break. So let's go to the drum bus. So all of these drum tracks are going through the drum bus except for the kick. So I've got an auto filter here. What I'm going to do is change the automation of the auto filter to bring it on here and have it going throughout the break. Now I want to have a bit of a transition into this part here where the autofilter comes on. It could work like that, but I like to just let the listener know something's about to happen. Right, we're preparing the listener for this break now by taking out those highs. It's creating more dynamics, more differentiation between these sections. We can adjust this cutoff frequency. So you can hear how that kind of softens that transition. If I turn that off again, it feels like it drops away a little bit, but when we have this filter automation, we can, so what we'll actually do here is bring this back, and then I'm going to slowly open the filter here. So we're kind of creating anticipation for this further, and then I'm going to further bring it up throughout the break. So now we've got this transition for the break that sounds like this. So you can hear now I've taken out the low end completely. We've taken out the bass, we've taken out the kicks at that transition point from the break to the drop. So that's creating more dynamics. So by taking out that low end, all of those low frequencies completely, it means that when the kick and the bass drop back in on the drop, they have much more impact. From a kind of sound physics perspective, basically the speakers or the subwoofers are not creating any of that low end sound, so it allows them to like fully come back and reset before they start to expand and contract. It means that they can get the full pressure on that drop. So to add some kind of more drama and intensity, we're going to use some send effects in this. I've got a big reverb here in my returns, this one here, set to send C, and I'm going to add some of this, something around here. So that's going to be sending all of the drums to that big reverb. So it kind of acts as a riser. Here's what it sounds like, full intensity. But we've already got some other elements there. We've already got some effect sounds, so we don't want it to be full power. We want it to be subtle. Now, something else that we can do, say here, where we've got this transition that the filter is introduced. Okay, so I took out the kick. It signals to the listener that something's going to happen, but it's just a little subtle hint, right? And that is quite a hard transition there. So we can soften that. We could try it with a little bit of the reverb. That does something, but I've also got this big delay here, multi-delay filtery thing. Really cool. What I'm going to do is some automation here. Now sometimes we may need to experiment a little bit with how we're doing it, where we're doing it. Actually, so we've got the reverb coming up, building up at the end. So I might just have a little delay shot here. It's going to sound like this. Right, so in the context, so it kind of happens a bit before this transition. It signals to the listener something's going on. The reverb builds up a bit of intensity. The kick drops out. And then you can hear that delay and reverb carry over into this section where we've taken out the highs. So it softens that transition, makes it feel more natural. Because we're using the reverb as a send, we're actually creating this like riser, white noisy type feeling from information that's already in the track, so it feels really natural. So something else that we can do to ease some of these transitions here, or just make them feel a little bit more impactful, a little bit cooler. I mean, it works, but again, we can create some space by removing some of these kicks. Do the same with the bass. We could do the same with this percussion here. And let's try experimenting with some of the tops. I'll just turn them all off, and we'll kind of just turn them on and off until we get something that sounds natural. A little bit too much. Let's leave the top loop on. So we've created some space there, which helps to accentuate the sweep and this fill. So we can basically just take all of this, copy, paste it over to this one. So now we get the same effect. We don't want it to be the same each time, right? We don't want to just kind of have every one of these little mini breaks feeling identical. So what I like to do is use some more effect sounds, basically, subtly, to just as like ear candy, to introduce different textures. I'll have a search through Underground Shades of House. These are all named. So we've got like percussion, riser, other, noise, impact. So we could try a noise. What's very helpful when you're searching is to turn the size on in the browser, and that's a pretty good indicator of how long the sample is. So we're looking for shorter one here. Something like that could be cool. Let's drop that in here. Now I will bring this down by -10 dB. We want it to be subtle. And let's just pull out any low end there. And then let's maybe have a search for another sound. Something like that could be interesting. And let's drop that here. Now we can see this is a very loud sample, so we're going to want to take out a bit of volume here. I'm going to take out 15 dBs. Now that might be a bit too much for this track, but it definitely creates some distinction from the first one. Something like that could be really good to kind of bridge this transition here, create some anticipation for the break. And then an impact or something here could work really well. Oh, perfect. So we want this to be, say, -10. Okay, so that's a little bit loud. We want it to be a bit more subtle. Take away a little bit more of the low end. Maybe this a little more subtle. Take out some of the lows. All right, and I think one more sound here. So what we're doing here is layering. We're building up complementary sounds on top of each other. And really importantly, I'm doing this in a way where I'm trying to be subtle. I'm trying to have these sounds complement each other and blend together to create more texture. Okay, so that sounds pretty intense. It's very loud. So I'm going to bring it down in volume, bring it to the end here. Probably still too loud. That's more like it. So now we get the combination of this white noise riser building up, of the snare roll building up, and then it's accentuated at the end with the sweep that's familiar because it's used on the other transitions as well. For this, I'll just take this part here and move it over here. So to recap what we've done there, we are using dynamic shifts like the change here where we took the kick completely out. It's a harder shift than going from the full kick to the filtered kick. We're also using the filter automation to create even more of a dynamic shift as we're taking out the low end and then slowly bringing it back. Using that automation, which helps to create some tension and release, we can feel that there's subtle movement happening and it's preparing us for the break, building up tension with the delay and reverb sends. We're then creating space by removing the low end before the drops so that we have bigger impact. And then we're using subtle layering of effect sounds or ear candy to further enhance and differentiate each of these transition points. So the key to this is subtlety and attention to detail. It can be really fun to go in with a fine-tooth comb and try and make each one of these transition points in a track slightly different from one another and slightly unique. And using like different complementary sounds and textures can really help to create depth and interest in your track. If you want to have a look more through how I've kind of made this beat, the bass line, all of that good stuff, then you can grab the project file from the link in the description, which goes to Patreon. It's one of the best ways that you can support the channel. There's this and loads more project files there. So get over there and get stuck in. Alright guys, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that and hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments if there's something else you think we should cover in the channel. If you're struggling with it, chances are a whole bunch of other people probably are too. And if you're looking for something to watch next, then check out this. I think you're going to like it. Well, that's it from me today. We'll catch you next time. Peace.